Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, frustrated victims of the KwaZulu-Natal floods are still waiting for permanent homes. It's been nearly 6 months since devastating floods killed hundreds and left thousands homeless. The Premier's attempts to provide a temporary solution were met with resistance over the weekend. Families will be moved out of the community halls they've been living in to former student accommodation. Now let's go to eNCA's Nqobile Madlala, who's following the developments in this particular story for us. Nqobile, I see there behind you people expected to live in such conditions. What are they telling you about, their disappointment in government?
Well, from this point, Masejo, a lot of them have just been hopeful that they're going to get space. But of course, this is not the kind of space that they were hoping for. But at this moment, it's better than where they were. They were at a hall where there was no facilities for ablution, where there was thin mattresses and so on. So now a lot of them are going to be coming here to be in a space where they can finally get a sense of privacy for the first time. So what you see there is some of the victims that have had a lot of issues, of course, waiting for as long as 6 months. These are some of the rooms that they're going to be sleeping in. Of course, as a family, I know that where we are, there's going to be about 3 people that are going to be in this room. There's about 2 beds, and of course, one of them will have to be in the mattresses. So let's just speak to some of them to hear how they are affected and, of course, what this means for them. Baba, ngiyazi ukuthi uzoba ufika la for the first time. Is it better than ukuba seholo, or are you feeling like you need a house immediately?
Ngasho nje ukuthi cha kona siyajabula ukuba lana ngoba kungcono naseholo. Sizokwazi nokuthi silale endlini zethu. So sibonge futhi nalabo abasebenzisana nabo nje isihamba nabo. Sijabule kakhulu ngoba sisokwazi ukuthi namathuba omsebenzi sowathola khona leduzana. So nokunye siyazi ukuthi kuzoqhubeka ngoba nala sokhelwa khona kula eduzana kokude nabasebenza bazokwazi baye emsebenzini ngendlela. So nje wona singasho ukuthi hayi kona inhliziyo sona sajabulile okwamanje sikwazi ukuthola indawo kanje. So far so good.
Ngiyazi ukuthi sekuthathe isikhathi esingango 6 months baba nilindile nifisa ukuthi nazi ukuthi kwenzakalani njengamanje. Kukuphatha kanjani ukwazi ukuthi indlu yakho awukayitholi?
Ukuthi indlu yami ngayitholi bona akungiphathi kabi kakhulu ngoba sengibonile nalapho sizokwakhelwa khona ngesivumelwano esasenza ke nabakhulu kumanje masihlezi ke ethulehole lapho besihlala khona besihlezi kona ngokuthi ke sihluphekile kodwa futhi sikwazile ukuhlalisana kuze kufike isikhathi uba size siphume sizohlala lapha sizoqala ukuhlala lapha eRest manje noma kube nzima ke futhi ukuthatha isikhathi ukuthi sithole ukuba singene ngaphakathi ngokuba abantu omakhelwane bendawo esikuyona bebengathandi neze ukuba singene kodwa ke ngokuthi ke esibambisene nabo nabakade besifisele kuhle nokuthi siphumelele sikwazile ukuthi sizongena ngaphakathi ngokuthi ke sikwazi ukubanqoba bona ngendlela yabo kodwa ke esikakhulu omakhelwane bebengathandi basingene.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring in Lennox now, Masejo, who is the provincial spokesperson. And I mean, Lennox, it's been 6 months. These families are frustrated. They need their housing. But of course, they are grateful that there is some set of shelter at the moment. But when are you going to deliver these housing?
Well, it's been 6 months. Let's contextualize it. It's 6 months of a crisis that has never been experienced in living memory. And in 6 months, government has been able to deal with thousands and thousands of people that were displaced, ensuring that we are able to reconnect infrastructure that was broken, to build a major infrastructure on the N2 entries that was inaccessible, to be able to help people to reconstruct their lives. We're at a point now where if you compare the number of mass care centers that we had in April and May floods, and the numbers that are remaining today, you will see a lot of ground that has been covered, a lot of work. What is important is that in 6 months, government in KwaZulu-Natal, in the country, we've been hard at work, we've been doing, and today we're seeing a culmination of one of those hard efforts of government. As Premier Nqobile indicated yesterday, we are a government that is caring, that is committed to restoring the dignity and the livelihoods back of our communities. What we are seeing today here, these communities were in community care centers. They are moving to this dignified place where each one can enjoy their privacy. You can see there's a wardrobe, you can see there's a mattress, there's a fridge, and there is part of government effort. And as this is happening, down the road here, government is constructing a multi-million rand project, a beautiful high-rise buildings, almost equivalent to Nqobile, but in a small version of that, where they will be permanently located, and the most important thing is that they've not been taken away from where they can be able to eke out their livelihood. They are within the community, and there is a holistic development, and they will be involved actually in terms of job opportunities as the construction is taking place. As Premier Nqobile and the Executive Council mentioned, they will be working also to first help build their own houses.
But when can they move into these housings?
You will know that that's why, for instance, the provincial government has been very innovative. What we are seeing here is a huge innovation that has never existed before in policies of government. Where, for instance, when people were affected by the floods, the immediate thing is to take them to emergency centers where they can be rescued, like mass care centers and community halls. And then from there, the norm is that you always then start looking for land to build them houses. Now, these people were washed away in reservoir hills. Now, if you take them to a place in Umlazi, basically are taking them out of their livelihoods. And government has to make sure that you try and mitigate the impact of their suffering. So what is happening now is that the construction is taking place. I will take you down to the area where dust is flying, earthworks, engineering is going in, and government is anticipating that within 2 years they will then be moving into their own accommodation. But as you will know, in construction there are variables. There is weather, there's everything that impact on construction. But government wants to make sure that as speedy as possible we are moving out people of community care centers to temporary emergency accommodation. But what is important, which the Premier Nqobile announced on behalf of government yesterday, is that every mass care center that is still available is linked to a particular piece of land or a particular place of accommodation where people will be moved in. And all the MECs of the Provincial Executive Council of KwaZulu-Natal will be responsible in overseeing on day-to-day basis that we make progress in as far as restoring the lives of people and making sure that we get people out of mass community care centers.
All right, in terms of that construction that you're talking about, do we know if there was a tender maybe that was taken out? Who are these guys that are building?
Well, of course, if we are building structures, we'll have to get the professionals that are involved in construction business, and we'll have to comply. You will know for a fact that as we do this work, there are real-time audits that are being done by the Auditor General, and he has done them and continues to do them and engages with the Premier Nqobile and the Provincial Executive Council to update and in areas. So there will be a lot of work that is being done to ensure that the work that is being delivered is above the board, but also we are able to respond to the real plight of the people on the ground. So there are a lot of checks and balances in place to ensure that we deliver these programs and we are able to improve the lives of the people who are currently in distressing situations. So government is very much clear that the lives of the people come first, and we want to make sure that there's nothing that taint or affect this particular program.
But 2 years is a long time, wouldn't you agree?
Well, that's why I'm saying I will take you to the type of project that is taking place there to see the types of building, the structure, the topography, the engineering that is involved. Of course, if construction, as I said, there are a number of variables. If there's a target, well, we work on a target, but you can always beat your target as well. But I'm saying we must also be realistic about the other external factors that can influence that. We are heading towards rainy seasons. Rains can delay the project, but in as far as constructors can push, they will be able to push, but without compromising the quality of the work.
Thank you very much, Lennox Maba. So speaking to us, Masego, well, what you see here is the new homes of all these families that are going to be coming here. We have heard from them already that they have left the Royal Hotel, and they're saying that they are waiting for the buses, and some of them will be leaving shortly to basically come to this space. We understand that there's about 47 people that are going to be living in the space, and already, as you can see there, these are some of the stuff that they bring into this place, and this is what's left of what used to be their homes and what used to be their belongings before the floods. And basically they're now going to be moving in to the space, and we're hearing that 2 years is the time that potentially could mean that they will have a home again that belongs to them, because this for now is a temporal place for them to live in.
All right, Nqobile Madlala, with that report, let's leave it there for now.